Hello, everyone. It's day 63. Today, I started reading Think Like a Programmer. I didn't read very much, just the introduction. I read that last night before I went to bed, which was this morning because it was after midnight. Anyway, the rest of the day, I had bookmarked this YouTube playlist. Somebody had shared it on Twitter a while back. But anyway, I finally got around to watching it. It's called JavaScript, The Hard Parts, Object-Oriented Programming by Codesmith. It's kind of like explaining OOP, but like taking an under the hood approach, like seeing how everything actually works, like all ties in together. Because like I've learned about OOP through the Odin project, and like I made I think 2 projects. One using like Iffy and factory functions, another one using a class and all that. And I learned like for some parts of JavaScript, like I know syntax and like I know just enough to build something. But it's like if you ask me to like explain it conceptually, I really had no idea what was going on under the hood or whatever. And like, I don't know, I just wasn't pleased with that or whatever. So watching this video, I realized like exactly how much I don't know or didn't know before watching it or whatever. And like, I need to take like a different approach or whatever. I would imagine, I know I see like the You Don't Know JS book series floating around. Mind you, I have not read that book series or whatever, but I can imagine like the way he explains stuff is kind of like the video, more concise version of You Don't Know JS. There's a couple more playlists. One's on like higher order functions, closures, and like stuff like that, like the async await and all that. Like the more challenging parts of JavaScript, they have like a playlist for it or whatever. And just the way that he explained it, like I had my notebook out, writing notes, I was highlighting, like it made so much sense and it made everything tie together or whatever. And like I was so impressed by the way that he explained it. I actually looked like in the YouTube video, there's a link and to a website. So I went to the website and it turns out Codesmith is actually a boot camp. Now, no, I'm not about to go to a boot camp because one, it's like $20,000 and I'm not about to pay when I can learn for free. However, it's a selective boot camp that you have to like interview into and all that, almost like you're interviewing for a job or whatever. And before you can even interview, they have all these resources and courses to take to prepare you. And one of them is called CSX. It's actually a free online platform that teaches you JavaScript basically. And like most of the time when I hear like, oh, a free online platform, it's like the basic of the basics, but no, like they go through all the way to building a Chrome extension using APIs and async await and all that or whatever. And like how it's set up, it's similar to, I guess, Free Code Camp, if Free Code Camp actually had like a lecture to go with their exercises or whatever. Like the exercises are about the same. Like it has on the side like a little write-up of like, I guess, a little back story or whatever. Then at the bottom, you're write a function or do something that does XYZ. Once you hit run, like it checks your code and tells you if you passed your test. It puts a check if you got it right or whatever. They turn green if you got all right, or it has an X if you got something wrong or whatever. However, with CSX, they have different like units. The first one's an overview. The second, and the next 2 are pre-course work. It's intended to be like a weekend course for pre-course 1 and 2, just kind of get you ready to get into like the more meaty parts of the class or whatever. All lectures pretty much start with a video. The playlist that I watched, you can either watch like the individual videos or just the hour-long playlist. I think it was about an hour long. But there's other ones that are like almost 2 hours long, or they're broken up part 1, part 2, put them together, it's 2 hours basically. So you start out watching the video, and then they have what you call a workshop. So on their website, you click on, you can actually go to a live workshop. Like there's some, I think the next one's like the 24th or something. So tomorrow, which will be Friday because it's now Thursday. But anyway, you can actually like sign up on meetup.com and attend virtually because of COVID, the workshop. And it has like different topics like JavaScript, the hard parts, closures, or whatever the topic is or whatever. And like it all ties into the units on that course. Like they keep like reoccurring every so many weeks or whatever. And then they also have like pair programming if you want to do that, which I don't know if I'm going to get to all the pair programming and all that, but like I'm going to take advantage of all the free material that they do have and know that much. Just because the way he explains it, like it matches my learning style or whatever. Like I feel like I've learned more in one day than I have in my 63 days of code, which is kind of sad. But you know, you live and you learn. But yeah, so I did pre-course part 1 and pre-course part 2. And then went over variables, control flow, data types, string objects, type coercion, arrays, for in. And they even had like the FizzBuzz challenge in there. After you watch the videos, like the little workshop, it's another video. Then it's just a bunch of code challenges, just like Free Code Camp. But the difference is the more challenging code challenges, you try it first, then if you go to the like hit next in the computer, there'll be a video explanation to like the really challenging ones, and it links you to a YouTube video, and they literally just walk you through the code. Like first they type out the pseudocode, read over the directions, like explain what the question is actually asking you to do, type out the pseudocode, then they write out the code and like line by line explain to you why that's the answer, like why they went with that approach, which I thought was cool because like I know with Free Code Camp, you have the hint or the solution if like you just literally can't figure it out. But like sometimes, I mean, reading a solution is not the same thing as somebody like speaking the solution to you, if that makes sense or whatever. So, although like for me, it was like a couple questions, just the way it was worded, like I still figured it out. What I did was I copied the challenge into CodePen, which has become like my new best friend now, just because it's just so simple, easier than doing Visual Studio for like little just small exercises like that. I just kept tinkering with it until I figured it out. Then I copied the answer back into the platform or whatever. But yeah, I didn't really get stuck too bad on any of them. Like I solved them all or whatever. One, I almost had to look, but I figured it out. I like what I did was I just YouTubed, because like in some of the definitions for the problem would be like, you should probably look up object.assign or object.keys and see what that does. Because of course, no resource is going to show you every little thing. Like you're going to have to do some Googling yourself. So like I looked on YouTube, found a good video that explained that. Then I took what I learned from the video and applied it, and I'm getting the problem right or whatever. I still watched the video for the more challenging ones just to like see how they went about it or whatever. And for the most part, how they went about it was the same way that I went about it or whatever. What else? Oh yeah, I'm also I've been looking into CS50W. I know that's the second part of CS50. But yeah, I think that may be my next move after I finish CS50 or whatever. We'll see. I mean, I'm still going to follow the Odin project. It's just, I've learned like the projects are good practice for the Odin project, but like I definitely have to get the explanation from somewhere else because like the few YouTube videos and articles, usually the articles, they're just written in a way that it doesn't help me at all. I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, so this CSX course takes you all the way through all of JavaScript, basically. And then Odin project picks up with like linting and like CS class and CS ES6 modules and that kind of stuff, which I've already done a little bit of or whatever. But like I'll pick up in the section where it has like linting and like that kind of stuff. And then it goes into testing. And I still have not contemplated if I'm going to go through React or skip React, go to Node, just because I'm more interested in like the full stack thing. Then after Node, maybe double back and see what React is about or whatever. But yeah, just like I needed like to reevaluate like what my game plan was or whatever, just because I didn't want to keep going through the Odin project. Like I finished the projects, but like barely, and like I really couldn't tell you why what I did work. I just know that I figured it out or whatever. So like I want to like really understand everything about what I'm doing or whatever, and be able to explain concepts or whatever. It's like that's what I'm going for. But yeah, really good day. The past couple of days I kind of been off or whatever. But yeah, I just needed like it's like so many things I want to do and like so little time. Like I don't know what to do first or whatever. Like I need to sort out like some type of like schedule because like I really want to read those books that I bought, but like trying to fit those into all the things that I'm doing or whatever. So maybe I need to have like wake up first hour of the day, I read a book, however many chapters, how many pages I get in, cut it off after an hour, then keep going through CSX or whatever. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pause CS50 just because I don't want to learn a new language plus this. Finish this and then pick up with CS50. Or maybe do this Monday through Friday and then CS50 on like the weekend, I guess. If I do one lecture for this week, I'll still be on track. It'll be like my third lecture or whatever. But yeah, I just need to figure that part out. As far as like the Odin project, at this point now I want to go back, keep going through CSX up until object-oriented programming, which is basically the last section. Then I'll do that to-do list project or whatever, and then keep on doing their projects. But like, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, after watching that object-oriented programming video by CodeSmith, though, I was like, well, shoot, if he explained this so well, I want to know what else I'm missing for all the other parts. So that's actually why I decided to kind of go backwards or whatever. I feel like I keep going backwards all the time, but the problem was I never learned it properly the first time. So that's why I keep going back. But hopefully, like, after this is no more backtracking unless it's like something I just don't remember or whatever. But yeah, I'm pleased though. It's definitely inspiring again. Like, the past couple of days I've been like waking up later just because I wasn't as excited to get up and code as I had been or whatever. Because I feel like I kind of was like running in place. Like I really wasn't moving or whatever. So this is definitely the push that I needed or whatever. But I'm glad I found this resource. I'm surprised I haven't heard anybody talking about it or whatever. But, you know. But yeah, overall, very good day. Very good day. Day 63.